Hi, welcome back. I'm Kristen, and if you want to find out how to make a used up old candle jar turn into this, then just keep watching. And if you could please don't forget to subscribe before leaving this video. That would be great. Okay, so for my craft today, I'm doing a DIY snowy mason jar. So this is just a quick overview of the supplies you're going to need to make this craft. That enamel is what you're going to use at the end if you want to seal in all that glitter so it doesn't come off and make a mess everywhere and rub off. So I have this used up Mason Yankee jar candle. Does that make sense what I just said? I had this is a candle from last year, and I thought I would use that for this craft. And to get the wax out of the candle, I just put it in the freezer for several hours, or you could do it overnight too. And that will really harden that wax and get it to come out of the jar. But as you could see, I needed to crack that wax so I could get it through the opening of the jar. And it comes out really cleanly, as you can see. But there is going to be a little bit of wax residue left in the jar. So this is where I'm going to, well, first, we're going to peel the label off the candle. And it really came off pretty easily, actually. I thought it would leave a little bit more residue and be a little bit more messy, but it came off really nice. So to get the wax out of the inside, I just fill it up the jar with some hot water, add a little bit of Dawn in there, and I just let it sit for a little while. And then you can just wipe it out with a paper towel and make sure you're getting that wax in the garbage and not down your drain, because that will plug it up. And then you're going to get the Mod Podge. This is just a glossy finish, and a little foam brush or a little paint brush, whatever you want to use, and just paint on a nice thin even layer on the whole outside of the jar. But you're going to want to avoid putting it on the top of the jar. As you can see here, I'm stopping just short of the lip, I guess you'd say, or the rim. Because we're going to put twine up there, and we're going to put a little piece of greenery too. And you just don't need the glitter up there because it'll be really messy and won't look as good. So just keep the Mod Podge on the jar itself. There we go. So yeah, I saw this on Pinterest and I was like, I need to make this now. I didn't have to buy anything for this craft. I used everything that I had on hand, and I was able to reuse a jar that I would have just thrown away or gotten rid of, So I love having crafts like this because then I can use up supplies and I don't need to be wasteful and just throw it in the trash. So anyway, I put about a cup of Epsom salts and the glitter in the paper, on the paper plate here, not in it, on it. And then I'm just mixing them together. I had to add in the white glitter off camera because I forgot to put it in there. Sorry. But it's in there. And I just roll the jar in the glitter. This is the easiest way I found to do it. And I just dump on as much as I can and pat it in there and get as much on there as I can to stick. Because then the more glitter you have on there and the Epsom salt mixture, the more snowy and wintry type of effect you're going to have in the end. Because when I'm done, I will put some tea lights in these jars, and they are just going to glisten and glimmer like they're just covered in snow, and it's just going to be wonderful and really get you in the mood for Christmas. I mean, I'm sure all of you are anyway, because Thanksgiving is almost going to be here and gone. So yeah, here I'm just getting it on there as best I can. Dump it on and then shake off the excess. And you're gonna want to put on a coat of enamel or some kind of tack, something to just kind of seal it all in there so that all the glitter doesn't get bumped and rubbed off, as you're arranging and putting new candles in and whatnot. So anyway, here I have this little piece of faux greenery. I had to dip into my Christmas supply, and I found these little pieces of greenery that have little pine cones on them, and they look like they're covered in little ice and snowy crystals, and they were just perfect for this craft, and I was just really excited to put them on there. So I did have to cut just this little tiny branch off of one of the sprigs, and then I hot glued it to the jar. While you're putting the glitter on, you'll want to get your hot glue gun nice and heated up because you're going to need it. Okay, and then after the greenery is stuck onto the jar, then I'll get my twine out and start wrapping it around the lip of the jar, the rim, however you want to call it. Just wrap it around there. And this is going to hide the stem and the glue of that little piece of greenery and just make it all look so put together and just bring the whole look, get it all nice and put together and finished. It's going to look finished. That's what I wanted to say. So I just wrap it around and then I tie a nice little bow. You can put little dots of glue, though, as you're wrapping the twine around to just keep it on the jar and not coming off, because it did slide around a little bit. So it would be helpful to just add a couple dots of glue here and there as you're wrapping it around so it'll stay on the jar. And I did a couple more of these, and I tried that, and it worked out really well. So here I'm just cutting off the excess twine so that the ends are kind of even on the bottom, as you can see. Yes. And you don't have to get a sealant if you don't want to. You don't have to do that, but it'll just keep the glitter on there. I just highly recommend it. You can get it at the grocery store or a hardware store, and it's not that expensive. It's under $10 for one of those cans. And you just get it on there, and it'll make it last longer. So aren't these beautiful? They turned out so nice. It's so warm and cozy, and I just love them. Look, there's the tea lights in there, or you could use votives if you want. You could even put some extra Epsom salts on the inside of the jars for a little extra effect. I don't know. I'll see you in the next one.